All right, let's dive right in. Today we're talking about Mohamed Sathak Engineering College in Kilakarai. Now, for all you students and parents gearing up for TNEA counseling, the code you'll need is 5907. Keep that one handy.
You know, you hear the word pioneer thrown around a lot when talking about colleges. But what does it really mean? What actually makes an institution a trailblazer? Well, for Mohamed Sathak Engineering College, the answer is pretty clear-cut and, honestly, quite impressive. It's this. They were the very first self-financing engineering college to get approval in all of Tamil Nadu. That's a huge deal and a real landmark in the state's education story.
Okay, so let's dig into that legacy a bit more. First up, the founding story.
The college's roots go way back to the Mohamed Sathak Trust, which started in 1973. And their mission right from the get-go was really noble. They wanted to make quality education accessible, especially for students from rural areas, those facing financial hurdles, and really focus their efforts in the Ramanathapuram district. So you can see how it all unfolded. The trust began in '73. Then, about 11 years later, in 1984, the engineering college we're talking about today was born. And what's really interesting is that by 1998, they were already introducing specialized courses like Aeronautical Engineering. That shows they were thinking ahead, even back then. Okay, so that's the history. Now let's talk about the college today, the key facts and approvals you absolutely need to know when you're making your shortlist. Here's a quick rundown of the basics. It's an autonomous, self-financing college, and it has a religious minority status for Muslims. As we said, it started in 1984 and is affiliated with An University. Now, that autonomous status is a really important point. It means the college has the flexibility to design and update its own curriculum and handle its own exams. For you as a student, that can often mean you're learning the most current, relevant syllabus. And of course, for any engineering college, this is a must-have. It's fully AICTE approved for the 2025-26 academic year. So that's one big checkbox ticked. So what about quality? When it comes to the NAAC assessment, the college has earned an A grade. And that's not just any A. It's backed by a really strong CGPA of 3.49. That's a solid score. Now, if you're eyeing the computer-related fields, this is huge. Two of their main programs, Computer Science and Engineering and Information Technology, are NBA-accredited. That's basically a gold standard for engineering programs, and this accreditation is valid all the way through June 2027. All right, let's get to the main event, the actual engineering programs you can get into for 2026, and how many seats are available in each. Wow, okay, that's a pretty big list. Let's break it down. You've got the heavy hitters, Computer Science and IT, both with 90 seats. Then there's a whole bunch of popular courses with 60 seats each. Things like AI and Data Science, ECE, EEE, Mechanical, and even Computer Science with Business Systems. And they've also got a really interesting mix of specialized branches with 30 seats, including the newer stuff like AI and machine learning and cybersecurity, plus classics like marine, aero, and civil engineering. So, the big question, how do you get in? It's all through TNEA counseling. And here's the split. 65% of the seats are filled through the government quota, and the remaining 35% are for the management quota. Okay, we've covered the history and the courses, but what happens after 4 years? Let's talk about the results, the placements, and achievements. According to the info the college submitted for the TNEA 2025 booklet, they've reported a placement rate of 90%. So let's just quickly recap the highlights, the things that make this college stand out. 1, it's the first ever self-financing college approved in the state. 2, it's autonomous. 3, it has that solid NAAC A-grade with a 3.49 CGPA. And 4, key departments like CSC and IT have that all-important NBA accreditation. Put it all together and you've got a pretty strong profile. Academics are one thing, but what about daily life? Let's get into the practical stuff. Hostels, transport, and financial aid.
When it comes to scholarships, you've got a couple of main avenues. First, there are the standard government schemes from both the central and state governments for SC/ST, BC/MBC, and minority students. But on top of that, the Mohamed Sathak Trust also offers its own scholarships, specifically for students who've done well academically and for those who need financial support. Now, for parents, this is always a big one. Yes, the college has separate, permanent hostels for both boys and girls. And good news on the food front, the mess in both hostels serves both veg and non-veg meals. Getting to and from campus is sorted out as the college runs its own buses. And if you're traveling by train, the closest station is Ramanathapuram, which is about 20 kilometers away. Just so you know,
All the information we've shared today has been gathered from the college's official website and other trusted government sources, and it's all current as of the time we put this together.
And that's a wrap on this college. To keep exploring your options, head over to profsam.com. It's your true source for making those big decisions, from 12th standard to your engineering future.